of Lil Pilates, and in this video we are going to look at the Pilates fundamental movement of spinal flexion. We are going to look at specifically half rollbacks. We will look at 100 curl or curling up when we look at cervical articulation, getting that nod with the curl. This will be starting from a seated position, so let's get into it. I have my over ball, inflatable ball here, and we're going to use it for a little bit of feedback. So you'll sit facing away from your ball, knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and the ball can be right next to your butt or maybe out a little bit for a little bit more challenge. So the closer it is to you, the more support it will provide. And then hands can be behind the thighs to start. So hands behind the thighs, we lift the chest, get as tall through the spine as you can to start. And then I'm going to think about keeping as much height through the crown of my head as I can for as long as possible. When we flex the spine, there's some natural compression that happens. So we're just going to think elongation as much as we can, even as we compress. So taking an inhale at the top, we're going to exhale. Draw your belly away from your thighs, and much like our imprint rocks, I'm using my posterior pelvic floor and my deep low belly to tuck my tail under. And then that flexion, that tilt of my pelvis, leads to flexion of my low back. And I pull my low back in towards the ball. And the rest of my chest is coming along for the ride. But I'm trying to think length through the crown of my head and flexing really actively from the low back, the lumbar spine. Everything else just comes along with me. So I'm in this even C curve of my spine. And then that ball is there touching at kind of the back of the belly button. I want you to think push through the low belly into the ball to round your chest over your thighs and then stack your spine. So let's do that one more time. Inhaling at the top, exhale, low belly draws away. We gather the glutes, tilt the pelvis under. My arms start to lengthen as I roll back. And then again, chin, upper back just come along, or as I should say upper back, neck, and then head, including the chin, just come along. So as we curl back, I want you to notice sometimes the chin will jut forward to compensate for abdominals not working. So think about gathering the earlobes back in space, keeping the back of the neck long. You can imagine you're holding a peach between the chin and your chest. And then as we start to curl back up, I want you to notice if tight hip flexors want to pull your low back off of the ball and we sort of just float a flat back up. So keeping that feeling of the low belly drawing into the ball, and then we round the chest over the thighs, stack the spine. Another common compensation that I'll see often is we're not as mobile in the low back. We're more mobile, especially in flexion in the mid and upper back. So instead of initiating from the tail, a lot of times we'll curl back initiating from that mid and upper back. And you can see it's just more compressive and not that even flexion that we're going for. So one more time, taking an inhale at the top. Arms can float in front if you want more challenge for your abdominals. You can also remove the ball, but I like to use it for that proprioception. So we tuck the tail, flex from the tail up through the crown of the head, and then draw the belly back into the ball to round all the way up. Great. So like with most of the fundamentals, tons of variations that we will add on if you come back for more videos. But if you have questions about this one, I'd love to know. And if you would like to watch more videos from me in the future, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.